This is Animus on. I'm Aftermath, and I'm a little sick today, so apologies for any sniveling or coughing you hear. But this is a very special episode, so I had to do it. And today I am sitting down with Brett, aka UbiCentral. How you doing, Brett?
I'm doing fine. It's good to be back, and hopefully I make you feel better.
I'm sure you will. So this is being released at the same time as one of Brett's videos. It's titled "Thank You at UbiGabe." So I would suggest maybe going to go see that if possible before you listen to this. But if you can't access internet right now or whatever, then that's totally okay. We're going to describe briefly what the video is all about. So Brett, what is this video?
Well, basically, it is just a bunch of community members, employees at Ubisoft, and voice actors on Assassin's Creed all coming together in one big video, just thanking Gabe for everything he's done in the last 5 years on the Assassin's Creed brand.
And I absolutely love this idea. So when you came up to me a few days ago, like a week ago, or whatever it was, I was really excited to work with everyone on this. It's a really lovely idea. I really like it.
Yeah, like what kind of made me think about this idea was when Gabe said his like goodbyes on the last AC live stream. I kind of was like doing something else at the same time, so I couldn't really fully listen to it. And I did like 10 days ago or something like that again. And he was saying how like he told this story about how Andy got all of these community members after AC3's launched together, and they just thanked Gabe for doing his job. And then that kind of just motivated me to make this video for him.
So how did you make this video? Because just before we started recording, you mentioned to me how many people you contacted about this and how many people you expect to be in it. And they're rather large numbers. So how exactly did you manage to organize all of this?
Yeah, it was definitely tough because I've never done anything like this. But I've been talking to a lot of community members recently, especially on Skype, and I'm friends with a good portion of them. And then I pitched them the idea, and a lot of them really liked it. And that's a group about of like 5-10 people. And then after that, I started thinking of like who else, because the Assassin's Creed community is so big. You know, there's YouTubers, cosplayers, artists, you know, Tumblr people, there's everyone. So I just did a whole bunch of research. I was just looking who the Assassin's Creed Twitter follows and just Ubisoft star players. I just went all around and emailed a ton of community members and tweeted at them asking if they wanted to be in it. And that's the community members alone. The voice actors are a whole different story because they're just really hard to contact, and I'm not really close with them. And so with them, mostly, I would have to go on their website if they had one, and they have like a contact us page. And for some of them, I had to contact their managers because they have managers, and then I would have to wait a couple of days. Or some of them, they just had their email, and I emailed them, and then they responded. But yeah, definitely community members are a lot easier to contact than voice actors. But I got a couple voice actors in this video. Roger Craig Smith. Aftermath doesn't know who's in it, but yeah. Roger Craig Smith is one of them. Trying to think. It's hard to think now off the top of my head. There's Amber Goldfarb, you know, Aveline. Mm-hmm. And then trying to think. All right, there's more, okay? If you watch the video, you'll see. It's hard to think off the top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah, I've worked a little bit with these kind of community projects before, especially with the podcast, where you have to go out and you have to contact a whole bunch of people, but I've never done it on this kind of scale, and I haven't done it with voice actors and Ubisoft employees before. And the way I would generally do this is that I would have like a process where I would set up this table on Google Docs and list out every name that I wanted involved, and then I would set up like a key for like a specific color, what I color their name, like have contacted them about this part of it, or they denied and decided not to participate, stuff like that. Did you have any kind of system, or were you just kind of just throwing it all out there?
At first, when I started, I was just going through my Skype list, talking to community members, and then eventually I made a Google Drive, like a Google Doc actually, and it had all the requirements for this video, like you must have a 720p camera or higher. The video length must be 15 to 30 seconds. And after that, like after I made that Google Doc, I started making a list of who I've contacted. And yeah, I started getting more organized. But at first, again, this was my first time ever doing anything like this. So I kind of had no idea what I was doing. But then I became more and more organized because it's really hard to like organize all of these like people that I'm contacting and who said yes, who can't do it. And then on top of that, in the video, I have lower thirds, which is when they appear on the video, it will say their name, or more specifically, like their Twitter. So I have to make one for each person who submits a clip. And yeah, that's kind of time consuming. Yeah, that made me be a little more organized when it came to that.
Yeah, that this just seems also crazy, man. That's very ambitious. I really love the idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm waiting on everyone's clips right now. Like the video's up for you all, but for me, I've just started the intro, which you've also seen, and that alone, that took me about like 5 different attempts. Like I have 5 different versions of that intro because I just wanted to get it right and just be proud of it. And this is really stressful for me, and I just hope Gabe likes it. I'm sure he will. I mean, why would he not like it?
Yeah. And it's such a good cause as well because Gabe's such a great guy and he's done such amazing work for Assassin's Creed and the community. It was just a massive pleasure and an honor to be able to meet him in person and to interact with him over these last few years. I remember the first time I actually saw Gabe in anything was actually some of the first AC marketing I'd ever seen, and it was the Brotherhood Q&A videos where he basically interacted with the community almost directly, and I really enjoyed that and his fun personality and these, like, I can't remember how long they were. I think they were like 30 seconds or so. These small bite-sized videos were just a ton of fun, and I think I watched every single one at least once a day because they were just so fun, and I was so addicted to Assassin's Creed at the time.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, like I've been trying to put together a lot of funny moments for Gabe. So I've been actually going back and rewatching these, and I've seen the Brotherhood ones, and yeah, they're like 30 seconds to a minute. It's really cool how he just like someone would ask a question, and then he would make a whole video dedicated to that question just for that one person. And he did this series, and like there's tons of them, and it just feels like he actually cares about the community and he's answering questions all the time. And, he really is an amazing person.
Yeah, it's so authentic the way he did that. And I think that a big part of the success of Assassin's Creed community and how it became so large as you were just describing is because of the great community developers and community managers, people like Gabe, people like Andy, and people like Justin, who's now moved on to Rainbow Six, but was on Assassin's Creed for a time. Mm-hmm. I think that those guys were all a big part of it, and I think that whatever franchise Gabe is moving on to is incredibly lucky to have him, and I hope that I will enjoy the games as much as I enjoy the new series, as much as I enjoy Assassin's Creed, so that I can continue being a part of a community that Gabe is a part of.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm UbiCentral, so I hope if it's interesting, the brand new IP, or I don't know what he's working on, but whatever it is, I hope it's pretty cool, and I could also follow along and be in that community as well, because I know Gabe will build, like you said, a strong community because he's so interactive with us.
He's just so good, and every single interaction I've had with him over the years has been so positive and things like that. And as a subreddit moderator, those guys have been absolutely great to interact with as well. They understand completely how the subreddit works. They don't try and push too hard or anything. Ubisoft doesn't try and be all like, oh, you have to do this, this, and this, otherwise we'll cut you off, or anything like that. They're just ridiculously nice, interacting with us as moderators, interacting with me as a podcaster, interacting with me as an individual fan on Twitter and on the subreddit. All of the guys do amazing work. But I think a lot of that started with Gabe 5 years ago, I believe it was, when he first started. Was it 5 years ago? Do you remember?
Yeah, he said it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah. I think, yeah, a big part of... we have a lot to thank Gabe for, and amazing guy. And I wish him all the best in the future and all of his future endeavors.
It's funny because like when people are submitting their clips for this video, some of them are actually telling, their individual story with Gabe and like how they met him and how he actually cared about them and treated them so well. And you'll see a lot of people in the video saying that. And yeah, it's just, I could keep saying thank you over and over again.
Yeah, there isn't a bad bone in that guy's body. He's so nice. It's ridiculous.
I just want to say, like Ubisoft in general too is really good at community because E3 they have all the star players, and yeah, that's the one thing like they're the best at is community, and not just Assassin's Creed. All their community managers are pretty good and developers.
Definitely. So thank you Ubisoft. Thank you UbiGabe for being amazing with the community and for everything you've done for Assassin's Creed, and thank you Brett for bringing the community together like this and creating this awesome video.
Oh, well, I have to thank the community for being interested and taking time out of their day just, to record a small clip. And hopefully Gabe, again, likes the video. I don't see why he wouldn't, but I just still hope. A small part of me is like, I really hope I do this video justice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, Brett, where can everyone find you and where can everyone find this video?
YouTube.com/UbiCentral. You can also follow me on Twitter at UbiCentral.
Thanks so much for coming on to talk to me about this, Brett.
Thanks again for having me. It's always fun to do these with you. I'm looking forward to your next episode.
And it's always great to have you on. I'm always looking forward to your next video. This has been Animus Island. I'm Aftermath. That's Brett, aka UbiCentral, and I'll see you next time.